Knock, knock. Who's there? It's the review section. We're covering, guess what? Knock, knock.
It's not your period?
It's not my period. That's next week.
Well, damn.
This is from Ice Pick Lodge, developers from Soviet Russia.
Soviet Russia.
Icepick.com. It's a Unity game. It's $10 on Steam. You'll want to get that. So, enough with all that sexy crap. Let's get to our metric, our wacky-ass metric, which requires, of course, the chair explanation.
Cue the chairs.
Yes. So, 1 chair means it's shit. 2 chairs means meh. 3 chairs means it's good, and 4 chairs means it's orgasmic. Think that's pretty clear. Now for our 4 metrics that we throw these chairs at. Metric number 1 is mix with the working. Does it work? Does it run? Does it run well? Number 2, shiny and sounds. How does it look? How does it sound? Metric number 3 is controls, and if you can't figure that out, then leave. And finally, the big FU. And fun. Did we have fun? Did we enjoy the game? So, then,
Wait, what was it about? What was it about?
What is this game about? Well, according to the description at the beginning of the game, once you start it up, it's not really a game. It's a meditation. It's spooky, weird, eerie crap where you walk around and blah, blah, blah. Watch the trailer. You go through the rooms of the house. Kind of reminds me of a sort of Kill Dr. Lucky setup, except without the murder. And the
So
fun.
we are talking about Mix with the Working, and this is Linux GameCast Actual, and we do test on multiple platforms with multiple hardwares, multiple CPUs, and multiple distributions, because Linux is a kernel, not an operating system.
It's an ecosystem.
And for our minimum system requirements, at L.G.C. Actual, it has been tested and confirmed working on Ubuntu 12.04 32-bit LTS with NVIDIA-powered graphics. Take a shot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're going to have to switch that up for an Intel motherboard soon, though.
Why's that?
Why is that? Because Steambox recommended specs Intel now. No, so on my HTPC, Steambox with the A10 5800K works fine out of the box, runs no problem. 4 chairs.
And on my end, I managed to get it running without so much as a hiccup on both my calculator and my 10-year-old desktop PC that uses an NVIDIA 7600 GS. Yeah, that old.
On
and it
shebang.
ran stupidly well. 4 chairs for me.
Well, that's a shock. 4 chairs total for Mix with the Working.
Well, considering from last week.
Oh yeah, last
week.
Yeah, that I think that was one of the more games in recent memory that got like really bad.
It was
score
the only
Mix with the
Unity
Working.
game so
This
far
is
that
like
got
the
that
one
meta
way
score.
to stack your score is actually get it to run. I think we're gonna have to reconsider this metric once SteamOS drops. But anyways, shiny it sounds. Then,
Well, let's take a look at it right here. Shiny and sounds. Well, with the sounds, it is full metal, fuck mothering rubber Johnny. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's not as kinky as it sounds. It is as disturbing as it sounds. And when I say disturbing, I'm talking about the voiceovers with this business, because it's it's like they watched that and they did it in spades. The animation style, however, completely dig it, man. I mean, it's complete Tim Burton Nightmare Before Christmas ripoff, and they did it right. It works, it's precise. Nothing genuinely against it, but I gotta knock it 2 full chairs just because of that audio with that explanation of 2 chairs. Swing! Snap out of it, man!
No, Yeah, the animation really reminds me of like Tim Burton meets South Park. That was the first thing that came to mind. Uh, not stellar, not horrible. I mean, it doesn't really do it for me, but it's not like the worst. Oh man, Petr Potapov, look at him. He's all moody and shit. But anyways, yeah, the sounds, yeah, they're really, really, really got annoying fast as I kept hearing two chairs. Pedro.
Yeah, you guys pretty much already described. It's look, guys. The first 5 minutes of a game dictate whether or not most people are going to keep playing it or just put it aside. And the first 5 minutes, the first 20 minutes of this game, you just hear, what the hell? I really liked the art style. I really did. And oh no, no. I'm going to save this for the final word. Two chairs.
All right, so two chairs across the board for shiny sounds. That's really hard math to average up. It's like something like 28 chairs or something. I have no clue. Anyways, controls. Then I keep asking you if you feel like you're in control, but we both know that's never really the case. So how did the game control?
What?
Top men.
Right. Top men! We do have...
Top men!
Controls, do they make with a working? Absolutely 100% do they make with a working. Let's this scary little fuck here. He's more disturbing than anything else, but we'll take a little bit more of a look at this with the fade out, fade in. You're dancing around. Oh, and he's back again. I'm terrified. He's the technical director. But the controls, they make with a working. Up, down, left, right, that all works, but I'm going to have to put a little asterisk, so
Astrid,
yes, one of those things, because I never tried it with the X-Clone controller. That might have made it a bit more enjoyable, but they were tight, and we're talking like, well, none of your bums are tight. So
oh, I'm totally loose butthole.
Yeah, 4.
See, I wasn't really wowed with the controls. They worked well. I felt the movement was a bit sluggish, but I guess that's sort of part and parcel with the type of game this is.
Yeah, it's trying to build the pace.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really wowed with them. They're good controls, mind you. I wouldn't say they're perfect controls, just because I kept hitting space and freaking turning off lights. That got annoying. Some of the
how long does it take
I really
to
have
cut
nothing
a light
bad to say about it,
on?
but I'm not like they're not 4-chair controls, so 3 chairs.
3 chairs.
3 chairs. Fair score.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. Personally, I could see what they were trying to do with the controls and making the character move particularly sluggish and take forever to turn on a freaking light. I can see what they were trying to do. They were trying to pace the game properly, and that's one of the things when it comes to horror games, pacing is God.
Well, what if they were trying to coax somebody out of the closet? How long will that take?
well, you need to get
a much faster paced game. So, for my opinion, the controls for the type of game that it is, 4 chairs. I have absolutely nothing against it.
Well, 3 chairs for controls because I can math. Can you?
Math.
Anyways, our final subjective category, and I am contractually obligated to remind you all, we are 3 different people running 3 different sets of hardware on 2 different distributions. So, let's see what we think. Ven, did you have fun?
It's a funky joint, man. It's an absolutely funky joint. Even looking at this, I'm sure that says trailer somewhere, but they keep holding up a lantern. But at the end of the day, take a shot. Calling this a game is granted, a bit of a stretch. That said, I'm okay. Yeah, I had a good time, and I enjoyed some of the twisted imagery. Is it worth 10 wet, stinky cashes? Well, if you like playing through twisted stories, you like Tim Burton, some shit like that business, yes. If not, wait for this business to go on sale. Because calling it a game, stretch. Period.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Take another shot.
Take another shot.
2 chairs. Got to give it to it for fun and all fairness.
I was bored. This game is boring because it's not really a game. It's.
Did you feel like you went home?
Calling it an interactive novel is a stretch, but
What did it need more lesbian non-existent suicide?
yeah, you know what, yeah,
Non-existent
it's better.
suicide
It's better
lesbians.
than zombie non-existent lesbians. That's for sure. It wasn't painful to play though, so it doesn't really deserve 1 share. But really, if I wanted to experience waking up in the middle of the night, in the middle of the dark, getting chased around by haunting visions and trying to turn on lights, I would just take a nap. So 2 chairs.
Yeah, everyone's already mentioned this, but this is not a game. What they're trying to do with this is a means of conveying the story.
Pedro, they can't even make a fucking trailer.
Yeah, the trailer was a train wreck, but we're not here to talk about the trailer. We're here to talk about the game.
The trailer was literally just a guy holding up a flashlight to his face going, spooky, booga booga, spooky, booga 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 booga, which we still need the wheel of, by the way.
I knew that was
Yeah,
coming.
but it's not a game. And as a means of conveying a story, it's not a very good one either. Because there's a huge bump in the road to that all-important immersion, and that's when the hauntings and the haunters, those things that follow the protagonist around, when they show up in pursuit of your character, and your character stops and starts giving that expository, or whatever you want to call it, speech in gibberish, that takes away the immersion. The immersion goes right out the window, and that's bad. When whomever had the idea of, freezing the game mid-action scene needs to be strapped to a chair and forced to play through Final Fantasy X-2 all the way up to 14 to know what immersion, or lack thereof, does to a game. 2 chairs for me.
Well, that
Because
was
I can see what they're trying to do with
that was certainly an interesting tangent. I'm gonna cut you off right there because Beyonce had the best music video of all time. Anyways, that's 2 chairs out of fun. So totaling that up, I need the
Really
intellectual
hard math.
might of an arch user to figure this out. 2 chairs for the final score. That's a bit of a meh. So
2 chairs
Pedro,
for
why
your
don't you tell the
final.
lovely game what they won?
At the end of the day, take another shot. This comes from, it's a small game. It's an interactive story. What I genuinely disliked was, it's like, this entire thing came from a random email from a random person who gave us the entire premises. Then why don't you send them royalty checks for any version of this that you sell? Outside of that, you clearly saw Rubber Johnny. B, don't use that voice. That's annoying. And after you figure out that the spooky things reset you all the fucking way back there, this is very difficult because I'm doing it as hard as I can. C, figure out what you're doing. Are you telling me a story or are you playing a game? Because I don't need to replay through 10 minutes of a story to get back to where I quote unquote died. How do you die in a story?
Yeah.
What it's a game? It's all right. P-Man.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, I spent most of the time I should have spent playing this game. I was playing Bionic Dues instead. Because Bionic where Bionic is due, and those guys made a really, really compelling game. Unlike Knock Knock, which is unfortunate because I like the horror genre. And you cocked it up.
Well, you know, I like the graphics. I like
Yeah,
the
the
sounds.
graphics look good. It was certainly. I can't English tonight. Take a shot. I like the artistic direction that they took with this game. Unfortunately, the sound thing and freezing the game mid-action scene killed it for me. I'm sorry, but it did.
Penis.
What was that? Sorry, I had a dream I was being chased by a leg bondage monster, and then I tried to make love to it, and that failed. And then I woke up, and now I'm here. Is this another dream? No, it's just a boring game. I wouldn't recommend it for $10. So, that's all settled now.